Hey guys, Southern Sharking coming at y'all a little bit of hunting content today. Got a gear breakdown, some of my hunting gear. This is a Savage Arms 17 HMR. It's a little bolt action rifle. It's not loaded, all my guns are not loaded. It's got a Bushnell 4x16x50 scope on it, and it's got a parallax on it that goes from 15 meters all the way to 300 meters. And the way the parallax works, whatever distance your target is what you adjust this to, and it makes that image in your scope come across very clear. As you can see, this is the carbine version of it. They have elongated versions, they've got sporterized versions, things like that. This one, you can put a slip ring right here and right here if you want to put a sling on it, but this thing is so light, I'm not going to buy a sling, I'm going to attach a bipod. And this one does come with a threaded barrel if you wanted to get the tax stamp, pay the government the extortion money, get a tax stamp, you can get a suppressor on here. This is a fairly small round, it's about a step up from a 22 Magnum. You can use it for varmints on a big farm property or something like that. So if you got raccoons or coyotes or anything like that you are able to legally harvest and dispatch, check your local state laws and regulations before you harvest any animal and any fish. I bought this primarily for hunting hogs and for hunting squirrels. Just a little short carbine gun. It's really light. I just got it. This is the newest weapon in my hunting arsenal. I have yet to hunt with this thing. Once I make some hog hunting trips, y'all gonna get some videos of that as well. Coming up next, one more bolt gun. This is a Ruger American 308, and this scope is a 3x9x40 Vortex brand scope. One of the best scopes I've ever had. This one does not have the parallax on it, but it's only sighted in for 100 yards, so I really don't need it for that. This I primarily use when I'm deer hunting. I do take it hog hunting from time to time, but the areas I hunt, it's real thick, real bushy, and this is the full-length version. You can get a carbine version if you want to. I like the full-length version. That way, if I need to, I can take a little bit longer shot. Personally, I use 180 grain soft tip hunting rounds for it. That'll drop most game around. You can hunt deer with it. I know people that hunt elk and things of that nature with it as well. All around, very, very good weapon. Super easy to use. Again, it's just a bolt gun. I think everybody here knows how a bolt action rifle works. It's got the floating barrel on it. Now this one, I do have a slip ring on it for it. I took the sling off and lent it to a friend of mine. I'll probably be getting another sling for it because I'm about to be doing some scouting soon, and I like to have this with me when I'm scouting. I can see further out with it, and if I see something I'm able to legally harvest, this right here, I promise, will knock it down every single time. Next on the docket, Remington 870 Super Magnum 12 gauge shotgun. This is just a pump action shotgun. This gun comes with the multi-choke system. In the end of the barrel right here is a little metal tube that is your choke, and your choke is basically how tight the pattern is with your shot, because as you know, shotguns do not shoot one single projectile unless you're shooting a slug. If you're shooting bowed shot or buckshot, it's several tiny pellets. The tighter your choke, the tighter your spread will be and the further range. So for instance, there is open, modified, and full. Open choke, it'll spread out really far, really quickly. Modified is what most people use. That's what comes standard on most shotguns. And full choke will keep the tightest pattern for the longest distance. If you're hunting birds, if you're hunting ducks, goose, dove, quail, anything that you're going to be shooting on the wing, that's when you'd want the full choke. But if you're hunting things like deer, hog, any large land animal, open choke or modified choke with some buckshot, you'll be just fine. This will knock them down. And some of y'all may be thinking, Super Magnum, what does that mean? With shotguns, with 12 gauges, they make up to a 3.5 inch shell. Your standard 12 gauge shotgun will only hold a 3-inch shell. The 3.5 inch is the Super Magnum shell, which this gun will hold. And one of my favorite things about this particular weapon platform, I'm not going to do it on here because YouTube is funny about showing the disassembly and reassembly of firearms. But this barrel comes off with no tools. You twist this with your fingers until this little piece comes off. You lift the barrel off, and you can put another barrel on here. They make different gauge barrels for it, like 410 and 20 as well. And you can also get a rifle slug barrel with a scope to keep on here. And at that point, that would be primarily a hog and deer hunting platform. You'll be able to get a little bit longer range out of it. A lot of people refer to the 870 as the Lego of the shotgun world, which quite honestly, I agree with. I wholeheartedly and fully agree with that. This is the dang Lego of the shotgun world. And it is also a very excellent choice, in my personal opinion, a good general self-defense weapon. If you're in your home, in my opinion, you wouldn't want to use like an AR-15 or AK-47 or something like that with armor-piercing FMJ rounds, because that's going to go through the intruder, through the wall, through the other wall, into the dog, into the neighbor, into the neighbor's neighbor, and so on and so forth. That's an exaggeration to people in the comment section. I already know the comments that are coming. And last up, this is one that I have also yet to use. This is a 2009 model Bowtech compound bow. I bought this from a good friend of mine named Mark Williams. He also has a YouTube channel. I'll have his channel linked down below. He posts a lot of really good hunting videos. I highly recommend y'all go over there, check out his page, go subscribe to him if you like his content. He's got some really, really good videos, some really good tips. Right now, it is currently set to 65 pounds. I don't want to pull it back with no arrow knocked, because if my hand was to slip and dry fire it, those of you who bow hunt already, you'll know, you'll destroy the shaft of your bow. It'll splinter, it'll break, it'll explode, and at that point the bow is useless. And to those of y'all who don't bow hunt, this right here and this right here are called cams. And the way it works, when you pull this bow back, these will rotate back. And if you dry fire it, there's nothing for all the energy that this string has to go into. So at that point, it's going to go into the bow. Whereas whenever you have an arrow, all of that energy will go into that arrow, causing you to save your bow. And at that point, you still have to be careful that you have the right size arrow, because if you're using an arrow that is too light, some of that extra energy can still be transferred into your bow. I am by no means an expert at archery hunting. I have yet to even shoot this thing. I've only had it a couple of months. If you're wanting to get into bow hunting, I recommend going to one of your local bow shops and talking to one of the guys there, and they can size you for the bow and tell you a lot more about it than I can. This is something that I am not afraid to admit. I'm still really, really new to bow hunting. It's something that a lot of my friends do. I've seen a lot of videos about it on YouTube and on TikTok and Facebook and things of that nature. It's something that I wanted to try. And where I live, I primarily hunt public land, something called WMAs, Wildlife Management Areas. And the ones around here are really strict about the areas that you can hunt and what kind of weapons you can use. A lot of them are archery only, whether you hunt for deer or for hogs or whatever. Now that I have this, that'll open up a lot more areas for me to be able to hunt. And I do apologize for it being so long in between videos. Life has just been going non-stop lately. I hadn't had a chance to find the time to get out here to make a proper video. I've tried, and things just kept happening that kept getting in my way, things of that nature. Y'all stay tuned. I plan on making a lot of really good, interesting videos for y'all pretty soon. Thank you for watching.